Hey YouTubers, I'm Lily and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about burlesque with none other than Harley Sparks! So as you guys know, I do a bit of pole dancing and I work in the Dirty Circus every once in a while, and so does my friend Harley, and she's here to talk to us about burlesque.
Well, burlesque is originated from the word burla, which is either Italian or French, I can't remember a word.
Italian or French?
Yes. But it means to make a mockery of, like to take the mick out of.
Okay.
So burlesque kind of originated like with the satirical origins, so it's not taking yourself too seriously. You know, nowadays you can have neo-burlesque and classic burlesque. So neo-burlesque tells a story. It can be political, it can be something funny, it can be weird, it can be whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
And then classic burlesque is like the old-fashioned striptease people would think of. So like feather boas and feather fans, although they can be used in neo as well.
Okay. So how did you get into burlesque?
Well, I saw the very first Dirty Circus a couple of years ago. And I was enthralled. I always had an interest in dance. I was always acting, trying to sing, you know, whatever. So when I saw the Dirty Circus in Galway and I saw that there was a burlesque scene starting in Galway, I was like, I need to get in on this.
Okay.
So,
did you know of any other burlesque scene anywhere else?
no, not really, because I hadn't really taken it too seriously. I was always kind of scared that it would be a dream, like nothing more, you know, so there'd be no point pursuing it. But when I asked Tommy if he knew of anyone, he's the guy who does the Dirty Circus.
Shout out to Tommy in the Dirty Circus.
Sorry. When I asked him if he knew of anyone who did lessons or, you know, like kind of was starting stuff up, he gave me the numbers or emails of some girls. They weren't really interested. So it got to a point where he'd kind of message me, be like, when are you going to start? When are you going to start? When are you going to start? And
Okay.
just kind of eventually I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll just do it. Okay, come on. So.
Okay, so it was pretty much self-taught stuff then?
Yeah, well, I had a friend, my friend Claudia, who is an amazing choreographer.
Hey, Claudia.
Hi, Claudia. Love you. She helped me with my first couple of ones because I was kind of, you know, nervous. I needed someone to say, that's good or that's shit.
I ended up getting into the circus by Tommy messaging me on Facebook one day, just randomly, out of nowhere. So I'm travelling to Dublin for something, and on the way to Dublin I get a message. You know what it was? I was travelling to Dundalk to do a photo shoot. And on the way to Dundalk I get a message from the Dirty Circus, and it was like, this is the place, this is the thing I really like. And it was like, are you a performer? And I'm like, you've no idea, right? And so he was like, what can you do? And I was like, I actually can't do anything.
I can do everything.
But I couldn't do anything, and I was like, shit, what do I tell this person? And I was doing pole dance classes with a friend of mine, but she wasn't a teacher. We were just messing around a pole that she got together. And what happened was, I said out of overconfidence, I'm a pole dancer.
Why not? Sure.
And then next thing you know, he's like, great, perfect, I want you. And I was like, that's grand. And then when I met him, I met this really laid back guy. It was so nice, and it was great.
He's class.
Yeah, and then I realized I was so subpar compared to everyone. No, trust me, right? It was like, I thought I was fine rehearsing for like a few days at a time, and it was grand. And then when I got there, I saw all the effort everyone was putting in. I was like, I don't even own glitter.
That's like the first commandment of burlesque.
It's like shit.
Thou must have glitter.
So what kind of acts have you done?
Oh geez, I've done so many different ones. I did my kind of first proper classic one last Christmas. It's my absinthe act, so that's like real typical classic jazz music, feather boa, all that jazz.
Okay.
Loads of glitter, like a fuck ton. like brushing it out of my hair days after. But before that, like, I was always into the Doors, so I always found music motivated me the most.
Okay.
So my first act was to do with the Doors, and it was more vaudeville kind of, I don't know, creepy little clown thing, whatever. And then like I do Neo. I mainly did Neo, so now I'm kind of dabbling in the classic. We'll see.
All I ever did was Neo. I have never done classic burlesque before. It's just not something I'm really interested in. I mixed a bit of classical stuff in my last act, and honestly I felt so out of place with it. It was crazy.
But someone was telling me you rocked it. They said like you looked like you were having such a fucking blast. Like you were having like the best time on stage, and you didn't give a care. It's like you forgot the audience was there.
Oh, because I love doing that. But yeah, well, I went in with an idea that pole dancing might suit, and it did. It turned out pole dancing is a thing you can do at the circus, as well as what other things like puppetry we've had there. We've had magicians there. Yeah. There's one guy, Stephen Sharp, baby, stands there in a dress and sings amazing songs that he writes himself. Like so many different
there's like comedy as well.
Are there. And comedy, obviously. Duh.
Yeah. Well, no, but comedy, like it's fun. It's fun to break things up. We've even had Burlesque, which is like kind of horror burlesque or gory burlesque.
I remember Saint Deridium doing that.
Yeah, he does more like, I don't know. I know he lifts something like a cinder block between his ears.
Yeah. It's crazy. He uses his loops to like lift up
heavy shit.
Yeah, lots of heavy shit.
It's class.
So yeah, I did pole dancing the first time, and then I was doing chair dancing stuff since. So that's kind of what I'm sticking to right now until my pole stuff gets better. Other than a pole and a chair, I don't really use any classical burlesque stuff.
Yeah.
So what classical props would you use?
One of the things I use are feather fans. They're so fluffy.
These are amazing.
Yeah.
Tell me about feather fans.
Well, one of the most famous dancers would have been Sally Rand, and she had these massive feather fans. And she was she had a well-known dance, I think, where people thought she was nude. She either was nude or people thought she was nude while she was dancing with these massive fans.
So what other things do you use?
I'd use a feather boa. I unfortunately don't have one with me at the moment, but...
And what's a feather boa?
A feather boa, it's like a big feathery scarf. That's kind of the only way I can describe it. It's this massive kind of scarf that's made out of feathers, sorry. So I have one that's in green. I have an absinthe act, so it's on my page, you can check it out. And it's brilliant. Like it's one of the most glorious things you can have around your shoulder.
Okay.
I put it on and I instantly feel like Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind.
What do you usually wear when you like get on stage?
Well, so one of the main things I would wear, especially in between costumes, so I'm not walking around in the nip, would be a robe or a kimono of some sort. It's just kind of, it's to keep up the appearance. It's to kind of, I don't know, give the image of glamour, and you're not running around with your tits hanging out all the time scaring people, because that can scare people sometimes. Another main thing of burlesque would be like the corset. So right now I have an underbust one. So this one's more of a costume one because you can't open it at the front, but it's laced at the back. It's a steel bone, so they are hard to wear, but they cinch in that little bit more, which is really, really nice. Another thing I like to wear kind of for average costumey things would be a bustle skirt. So it's like a skirt that makes your butt big. But it's cool. No, it's really, really cool. And it's easy to come off. It gives the whole illusion. So when you take it off, your silhouette grows smaller. So again, it's the whole tease and reveal thing. Another major thing would be some form of garter. So right now I have girdle. It goes under and you can clip it, and then you can put your stockings on it, which is another main thing you'd wear for burlesque. And heels, you know, if you're bothered.